Hello. So last speech of the year, persuasive speech. Before we get started, actually, I wanted to talk to you. I feel like this was easier than an email, so I wanted to see. I haven't been here the past couple of weeks because I've been dealing with COVID and family issues, and I'm sorry I didn't send you a message or anything. It's just been really complicated, and I'm trying to get back in the loop of things. So I wanted to see if I could make up those past assignments, the two speeches that I wasn't able to get done, and everything that came with the outlines and the peer reviews. If I could really get those done, even for just some points, that would be really really helpful. And yeah, if we're having a final or anything, or if this is the final, please let me know so we're on the same page. Thank you. And with that said, let's get into it. So my topic is on, do violent video games make kids or young adults violent? All right. Hello. My name is Alec Goldsmith, and I'll be talking to you about how a lot of people think violent video games make kids violent. So off the bat, no, they don't make kids violent at all. There's been no studies shown that video games are linked to kids being violent. Not at all. And the people who think, or people who are spreading these rumors or trying to validate these false claims, are usually politicians and concerned parents, because they see their kids playing these violent video games and then they see the results of that, when it's really, those two things aren't connected. They're trying to put it in like a cause and effect type thing, where the cause is them playing these violent video games, and yes, they're violent and they're exposed to all this violent activity, and they think the effect is all these mass shootings and violent behavior, when that's not the case whatsoever. So I'll be explaining to you what is really the case and what is really leading up to all these mass shootings and all these aggressive behaviors with all these kids. So that takes us into mental health. And mental health could range from depression, anxiety, bipolarness, anything. And I could really speak for those people, with me fighting with depression, and these violent video games really do help me, take me out of reality, and just get me enjoying a game for a couple hours and just having fun with my friends. It's not really linked to all this violent behavior. I don't think I'm violent at all. Like, I don't play these video games and then go shoot up a school 10 days later. That's not really how it works. So, and if violent video games are increasing aggression, then the crime rates would also be increasing, but they are decreasing. And I found this reported by the 2001 report on Surgeon General of Youth Violence. And yeah, I think the main cause of all these mass shootings is not the video games. And I think video games actually help these kids that are struggling with these issues and these emotions inside them. And instead of these parents and politicians trying to take the video games away from them, I think some of them need to be exposed to more video games and help them cope with it. They need a different method than just taking that one thing that helps them away from them. That just completely ruins everything they've, kept inside. So now let's take a step back and look at how these mass shootings really don't relate to the games. So I found, when I was doing my research, I found that while 70% of high school students play violent video games, only 20% of the school shooters have been reported playing these video games. So if these politicians and parents are really trying to make out the scene that the video games are the cause for the mass shootings, when it doesn't really make sense when you look at the facts. If 70% of the high school students are playing these violent video games, but only 20% of them are school shooters, that doesn't really correlate to the video games. There's some other underlying issue that everybody's looking past, and I believe that's mental health. And yeah, that I hope that considers you to think that these video games are not the ones that are causing the mass shootings, that it's actually the mental health, and that we should really be tackling on mental health instead of trying to take these video games away from kids that actually use it to help them and take them out of reality. So I hope that if you did think these violent video games were making them violent, I hope this changed your mind, and that you could see that it's really the mental health, and you should be getting mental help for your kid instead of trying to just take the game away from them, take the phone away from them because you think they're being exposed to too much violent activity. So there we go. Thank you.